Says my son, it's all been done. Someday gonna wake up old and gray. Go and try and have some fun, showing warmth to everyone. You meet and greet, cheat along the way.
Sturgill Simpson is an American country singer and songwriter. In 2004, he formed the band Sunday Valley, but it wasn't particularly successful. He ended up managing a freight shipping yard in Salt Lake City, but he did start to get more serious about the music and made an album with the band. In 2012, the band disbanded and he moved to Nashville. So he released his first solo album in 2013, which was independently released. He released one more independently before, in 2016, his third album, which is his first major label album, was released. He has released 4 more since then.
Hi, my name's Dan, and this is a review of Metamodern Sounds in Country Music by Sturgill Simpson, which was released in the year 2014 and was his second album. And this is my first encounter with him, so I've not heard any of his stuff before, as far as I know. And this, I would say this is country, maybe with elements of rock to it. It's described by Acclaimed Music as outlaw country. So I'm not an expert on country, very far from it. When I looked up outlaw country, I saw that there was a period in time that was considered to be a thing. This is not in that period of time. So I'm guessing it's the right sound or the right feel for outlaw country, even though it wasn't part of that particular movement at that particular point in time. Musically, definitely focused on country, okay. But here's maybe the mile shocker for me is that mostly I enjoyed it. So from that statement, you'll pick up that I've not necessarily been the greatest fan of country. But occasionally there are bits that I enjoy. And this is one where I pretty much enjoyed the whole album, actually, to be fair. Especially I like the faster tracks, the more honky-tonky kind of stuff in here. There's a strong presence of a good twangy electric guitar, which helps. Sometimes it uses slides, which means kind of sound. Which gives it the particular sound used on the guitar is kind of a country sound, but it also gives it an almost rockabilly feel at times in there. I don't think there's any pedal steel. And so bizarrely, I often, as soon as I hear a pedal steel, I'll go, oh, roll my eyes at it. Except if it's Hawaiian music, strangely. I seem to think that it is a natural part of that. So anyway. So generally, as I said, I'm quite neutral to negative about country, but reservedly, I did enjoy this musically. And I'd say some of that's down to the guitar. Some of it is down to the band being strong. And that electric guitar is definitely a part of that. And another thing that has been used on the electric guitar occasionally here is a nice tremolo. And I do like a good tremolo on a gentle, electric, warm guitar sound. It's great. So I am constantly challenging myself to work out why I like and dislike things. And it's highly plausible that my taste is changing and that I'm learning as I do these reviews and I'm working through this process, that I am learning how to listen to some things that I didn't know how to listen to before, or that I would have responded more negatively to. I think it would be madness to assume that I'm not being changed by the process of doing these reviews. But despite all that, I think I'm never going to be a proper reviewer. I don't aspire to being a proper reviewer, by which I mean a paid reviewer doing stuff in a highbrow magazine or something. I'm always trying to aim just to basically give my ideas and hopefully a steer for normal people like me as to what an album might be like. Let's get back to the album. So the singing, he's got a strong male voice. It's very country in tone and ornamentation. It's not nasal. like some country can be. I actually fairly like his voice. I'm often more um, keen on female country voices than male country voices, but he comes across all right actually, and I think he doesn't. So he doesn't come across as being. If you've seen the Blues Brothers and the country guys in that band, they're just a bit kind of obnoxious, and sometimes some male country voices remind me of those guys. I don't know why, and it's a prejudice, and I'm sorry about that. There's no real ear-jerking songs. So one of the things that I do despise in country is songs like "Deck of Cards" or "No Charge" or things like that, or songs about somebody who's driving down a truck at night and they pick up a hitchhiker and the hitchhiker really helps them in a situation, and then they later find out that it was a ghost. Those kind of songs just get under my skin, or the ones that really you feel a kind of they're pushing really hard to get you to tears, and it's just too manipulative for me. I didn't find that on this. Most of the tracks are kind of figurative, I would say. There's some life observation. There is what I think of as the obligatory Christian song on a country album. And so I'm a Christian myself. I'm a born again believer. So I don't object to the sentiments in these songs. The thing that I feel a bit cynical about is that I feel like it's obligatory for country artists to include a Christian song on their albums. And in the bio stuff on Wikipedia, I read that he felt the need to deny that he was an atheist. And I just felt like only in country would this be important. And I don't understand this. What would be the problem with a country singer who was an atheist? But, anyway, despite that, it's not a bad song. Actually, I quite like it. My favourite song, though, is It Ain't All Flowers, particularly because it gets quite psychedelic and it's got a good rock feel behind it. It's quite interesting and unusual in the production of it, and that was the reason why I enjoyed that particularly. I'm just going to say the album title, which is slightly unusual, is a nod to a Ray Charles album title, which is Modern Sounds in Country and Western Music, which was back in the 60s sometime, early 60s, I think. So I've given you the lowdown of what I think of this album, and quite a few meandering thoughts as well, which is what I tend to do. But as always, I'd really love to know what you think of this album. So please will you let me know that by leaving me a comment. And while you're at it, I don't often do this, why not subscribe and follow along on this journey that I'm on to review the 3,000 greatest albums of all time, according to the website Acclaimed Music. But that's it from me for now.